Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And oh, dearie, dearie me, the hate is strong in Harvie. He absolutely loathes Kate Forbes. He thinks she is an extremist and he's launched a blistering attack on her. But he's insisted that her influence on the budget would be a deal breaker. He says if Kate Forbes is involved in any decisions with relation to the SNP budget, then the Greens will not support it. Let's think about this. He's telling the SNP that if their deputy leader is involved at any point, they will not back the budget. So he's telling the SNP who's in charge. Surely who's in charge should be a matter of the SNP, not the Greens. If Swinney had balls, which he doesn't, he would call their bluff and say, I tell you what, no, let's go for an election. Let's go right now and have the election because we will not be held hostage by a strange little leprechaun like Patrick Harvie. That won't happen, of course, because John Swinney hasn't got the balls and he knows he'll lose a lot of seats at the moment. Strangely, if he hangs on a little bit longer, he may well win some seats. All he has to do, wait, I think, until after the budget, after Rachel Reeves' budget, call the election and he'll win. Now, of course, the SNP needs the support of the Greens to get the budget through. It's got zero chance without them. And if it doesn't go through, it will probably lead to an election. It's not actually nailed on, but it will probably be an election if it does go through. What's very weird, though, because of the way the electoral system is set up in Scotland, is if Swinney went for an election now, let's say January, it's failed, we'll have an election at the end of January 25, there'd have to be another election anyway in May 26 for the Holyrood elections because they have predetermined election dates. So even if you have little in-betweenies, it doesn't matter. There's still going to be that one. It doesn't reset the clock. Now, of course, why are the Greens doing this? Well, they only have to look at Humza Yousaf. He is, after all, the idiot, Humza the idiot, who broke the Butte House Agreement because of, well, basically so many different reasons. But there was the whole Michael Matheson debacle. There was the gender thing where he was giving up on that. There was all the little difficult decisions that were just all too much for someone of his limited intelligence. And then he decided that enough was enough and he broke it. But he didn't break it in a polite, nice, simple way, offer them a few, salads and we nip a whiskey or something round at Holyrood House. No. He let them know via Twitter, basically. Yeah, Greens are gone, you're out. Tough. Boom, gone. Bit of a shock. And they were fuming. And indeed, they still are. Now, one of the problems, of course, is with Kate Forbes, is her beliefs. She has this we-free attitude to things such as gay marriage, and the likes of Gross Rhea doesn't like that. He doesn't like anyone who disagrees with him, stamps his tiny little ginger feet. And they have this terrible sort of toxic relationship because she has these very conservative views, because small c, conservative views. And of course, it causes friction between the two parties having this kind of thing. But now the Greens co-leader, Harvie, has said, right, that's it. We've had enough. We're fed up. We don't want her to be anywhere near. We don't want your deputy leader of your party to be anywhere near the decision-making process. Not good. Anyway, he gave an interview to the Scotsman and he said all this. But you can imagine Kate Forbes sitting there going, well, if you... So to Swinney, he says that if you listen to him and close me, the deputy leader of the party, out of what's going on with this budget, then I will launch a campaign or I will make life difficult, whatever. Swinney knows this. Swinney knows he cannot close her out. He also knows that he absolutely loathes her because he's in the cranky camp. And Cranky loathed her, had to have her in, but loathed her because she did not kowtow to Cranky. There's those that are in the inner circle and those that are out. And Kate Forbes never penetrated Nicola Sturgeon's intimate circle. Not many that have. And so she will be out in the cold. But out in the cold is a very dangerous place to have Kate Forbes. She has her own power base, of course. And the era of Sturgeon is slowly dissipating and coming to an end anyway. That is why they're so desperate, I think, to get Beryl up there. Because if he can get up there, then he can continue the legacy of Cranky by failing, but in a whole new way. Excellent, isn't it? But all these shenanigans and that, because it was only yesterday saying, oh, well, if you do this, we'll back you. If you do that, we'll back you. And now today, more political power games. Oh, well, if she's involved, we won't back you. You have to ask exactly what the Greens want. It's almost as though they don't know. We know what they want on some things. Higher taxes, make Scotland uncompetitive, destroy the economy, take you back to the Middle Ages, people starving to death, miserable children. That's what they want. And I think that they need to be rejected. They need to be said, look, here's the deal. You back us or I'll call the election and you'll be out. I think that'll bring them to heel. Here boy, click, click. He will. And of course for Patrick Harvie, he's desperate. He has to stay in politics. Because without politics, what's he got? Nothing. He's unemployable. Who would employ him? And what has? He's never earned so much money in his life. And of course, his big problem is that he lives in a little rented accommodation. No job, no home. Out you go, sunshine. No wonder he's so keen on rent controls, because he knows he's in a very untenable tenement. And he's not happy about it. So anything that brings him misery, of course, is good news, isn't it? Anyway, Swinney, he's saying, this is Harvie saying that Swinney should never have appointed Forbes in the first place. He did so out of cowardice. He did so because he needed to make sure she was on the inside pissing out, not on the outside pissing in. He said it was act of a moral coward. Right, this is a way of teaching, really gelling up, isn't it? And getting close to your political friends. Oh, well. There will be no agreement. I foresee the Greens will just back, regardless of what happens, because I don't think the Greens are up for an election. And we know that they're pretty tame, really. They haven't got any backbone either. They're all spiteful, cowardly nothings. Everything they do fails, doesn't it? So what do you expect? Anyway, there we go. The only one who's coming out of this as a winner, I think, is Forbes, because she's the one they're all scared of. Thanks very much. Bye.